make of this Chelsea side? Because we were just talking about how inconsistent it's been. It's difficult, isn't it, to think what you're going to get from them week in and week out. When they beat Barcelona 3-0, they then followed it up with a 1-1 draw against Arsenal. So you thought, OK, that's a good result for them. Then they lost 3-1 to Leeds United, drew against Bournemouth. And then this past weekend, obviously coming in off a draw, it's been a roller coaster for them. Who is Chelsea, Nigel?
We don't know. I think that's the best way to describe it. They're inconsistent. It's the same conversation we keep having about this Chelsea side. And I think results like this is the reason why people say that they're not serious title contenders. Yes, they'll surprise you. They'll get the odd result against a big club. They'll rise up to the big games, which is easy to do as a player. But when it comes to those games that you're supposed to get the result and get the job done, and those type of games come with experience. And this is a conversation that comes again with Chelsea. They're just missing a few experienced players who will be those brave characters in the dressing room to say, forget this great result against Barcelona. We got to win this next game. And it might be a smaller team. And that's what you need, those players or those characters in the dressing room to say, we need to raise up for this. It's easy to raise yourself for big games, but it's the small games that keep you consistent in what you need to be to win Premier League titles and to win competitions. And again, today, you look at their performance today. Atalanta are a really good side. It's always going to be a tough place to go. Maybe there might be an element of arrogance in the Chelsea players, thinking it's only Atalanta, and they might let the league position in Serie A fool them to think it's going to be a walk in the park. It never is going there. And Atalanta came from behind to get a 2-1 win. And again, if you look at Chelsea, the performance wasn't really great. I think Maresca has to take a bit of responsibility as well, because he has been tinkering with his side and making a lot of changes where I feel he needs to have a more settled side. But it comes with the arrogance of what they had in the Europa Conference League. When you look at how they played in that competition and how he changed his side, this is the Champions League. You don't have that luxury as you did in the Europa Conference League, being the overwhelming favourite and the best side in that competition. Champions League, you need to be a lot more smart with it. You need a more consistent team. And I think it's a bit more over-tinkering now also with Maresca, for me, that Chelsea didn't get the result today.
They're such a wild card, Grell, aren't they?
And what Troy's saying and Nigel's saying too, like leadership and experience and stuff like that, you need that balance. And that's not one guy, by the way. It's not like a one captain who says, oh, this is the way we do it. That's like, usually it's like 4 or 5 guys in the change room. Maybe
the
like,
leadership group,
yeah,
isn't it?
maybe like 4 or 5 of them play, and then there's probably another 2 or 3 of them on the bench that say, hey, this is how we operate, this is what we're trying to do. They're unfinished product, youngest team in England, right? And unfinished product. They've got some flashes of greatness with obviously FIFA Club World Cup, they win against PSG, like Troy says, against the big teams, but in terms of consistency over the course of a season, when you're playing 2 games a week, you're gonna see these lapses in concentration, lapses in managing moments and managing games, because they did have the lead today. On the flip side of that, you have to give credit to Atalanta that I think is a team that has in every single game they've played this season has put themselves in a position to win, in a position where they created a ton of chances. So a really good team that they came up against tonight as well.
Really good result for Atalanta. They're 3rd in the league phase now as things stand. Here is Charles de Ketelaere speaking following the match.
Yeah, I think mentally we were very strong against a really strong opponent, but I think we knew that maybe intensity-wise they dropped a little bit in the second half. We saw that they got a lot of goals against in the second half, so we kept strong also because we felt that we were good in the game, and yeah, you see it paid off.
And for me, from a defensive standpoint, I'll be annoyed with Cucurella because you've got to engage earlier. You're getting narrow for no reason. Just engage early. You've got enough cover behind you. And because you don't, you're in the box, then you can't tackle or misclimb a tackle. You stick a leg out, deflection, and there's nothing Sanchez can do about that. But again, it's the whole conversation of experience is priceless. And like I said, I've had experience with my manager when, I can't recall the game exactly, but I think it was one of the big teams we played in England, played well. And then we played, I think, Sunderland next. And my manager pulled me after and said to me, it's easy to raise yourself with the big games, but this is what people are going to judge you on. You didn't play well enough for me today. And when you get that kind of experience and knowledge, when someone tells you that, you never forget that, and I never forgot that. And I always say, if you want to be remembered as a top player, you've got to be consistent throughout. And you know what it's like to beat an Arsenal. And then next week, you've got to go and play maybe a Watford. You've got to know your dressing room. I'm just saying, but you've got to know in your dressing room.
It's got a stray in your neck, bro.
No, not my Watford. He's a lot older than me. Not my Watford. Sorry.
You've got to know in your dressing room. And
you got to pick 75 different teams. You sending a message, bro?
Listen,
just lay the marker down.
You guys have been there. You know in dressing rooms, and you talk about leadership and captain, and you've been captain as well, Troy. You know those players in your dressing room when you spend so much time, and you know the ones you have to put your foot up, give them a kick up the backside to let them be ready to perform. And not let them still be thinking about beating Arsenal and how everyone is praising them. No. That's done now. Now we get going. That's what we talk about, the experience that's missing that Chelsea dressing room. There's not that strong character to say, forget this. This is what we need to do if we want to win things.
No, it's fine. I understood his point. He was talking about Watford before me.
Yeah, me too. I understood it.
He keeps trying to make me... Nigel keeps doing this thing where he says we retired at the same time. I retired 2 years ago. He's 45.
No,
but the big thing for me, again, we're going to get onto it in a minute, but when you look at Chelsea and I look at Spurs, I see similarities to the point you're talking about with doing it consistently. In those big games, I have no concerns in those big games. I have no concerns with Chelsea. I know they're going to turn up, they're going to give it their best, and even if they lose, they're going to lose nearly. It's going to be like, oh, if this was better on the day. It's every time they play a lesser team. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know who's going to turn up. And if I'm thinking that as a neutral with no interest in it, imagine what the opposition are thinking. Right, we're going to turn up, just stay in the game, they'll give you a chance. Yeah. They might not be at it today, run a bit harder, tackle a bit more aggressive. So I just think until they figure that out, it's going to be a massive identity flaw.
Well, CDK just said it in an interview. So I guarantee you what CDK said there, a lot of other teams now are going to be looking at that to say statistically, second half, Chelsea will crumble.
Well, let's hear what the Chelsea manager Enzo Maresca had to say after this disappointing loss.
Yeah, probably after the goal we conceded, the first one, we lost a little bit the control of the game. But yeah, I think the second half also probably, we are playing every 2 days probably. We are, for moment, we look a little bit also that we struggle a little bit. But again, now it's for me, it's just a matter to try to win as soon as possible the next one.
He's right, isn't it? It's got to be a quick turnaround. But Nigel, you're obviously just talking about the players and how they deal with that in the change room. If you're a manager and even if you're a fan, you've got to be thinking like, how did we beat Barcelona and then we lost to Leeds United? It doesn't make sense.
There you go. Catch a straight now, yeah? I mean, he knows what it is. Enzo Maresca knows what it is. He's experienced in football, and we say these things for a reason, because we've experienced it. We've been doing football from the age of 12, 13 years old. We've been in that industry. That's what we know. We've had different managers, different characters, so many different dressing rooms, and you learn what it is to be a winner. When you play with top-class players and players who play at the highest level and big superstar players, you have conversations, you know what it is, you know what the DNA is. He knows what it is.
But I'm going to push back a little bit on that. I've heard that.
Yeah,
I've heard that. I heard that chat after Leeds. So we're going to try and win the next one. It's like, before you make the step, like, when are you going to do it? Like, last year, they had a moment where they could have went top. And he said the same thing.
Yep.
Go on this little losing streak. Oh, our job's only to finish in the top 4.
Yep.
OK, then. Every time he's lowering the standard. When they lose, I've yet to see him really disappointed, like angry when they lose. Against Leeds, he said, oh, they just did everything better than us.
Well, that's what I said to him. He needs to take...
Is he just trying to cushion that and not give the media something else to run with?
No, I mean, for me, I don't think he helps himself when he comes media-wise. Because like Troy said, when they were in the title race last year, it's like, oh, we're not in the title race. I'm thinking to myself, how do you say that as Chelsea manager? This club is used to winning stuff. You're in there because you deserve to be it. And then since when he said that comment, they went on a terrible run. Then when they win a game, it's, oh, I don't hear anyone talking about we need experienced players, we need experienced players. He wants to throw that in the media's face. Then when you lose, it's now, oh, we just want to win the next one. So what is it? He plays a game with the media that he's not playing very well, and I think he puts himself in an awkward position.
Quick question to you, Gola. Your manager says it doesn't matter, and then comes in and shouts at you tomorrow because of how you're doing it. The first thing you go is, well, you just told us it didn't matter. How do you expect a reaction?
I'm not gonna look at too much what the manager says to the media, because I think he's trying to protect the player. I think the best managers, they get a lot of pressure from the board, from the ownership, from the fans. The best managers are like a shut-off valve, right? In plumbing, like you pull the shut-off valve, and he doesn't let that pressure get through to the team, to the player. So I'm sure he's going in and say, guys, this is not good enough. I will say I watched the Leeds game against Chelsea. The best teams, you can't just kick them and have a good game. Like Leeds just kicked them and just outmatched them and just outran them and then beat them. The best teams know how to also play against that, and they didn't do it. Carabao did exactly the same.